Alec Baldwin killed someone. People react to Tiwa Savage's sex tape. And we're going to talk about Lil Nas X being... What is it called?
Honored in his hometown.
Is that his hometown?
Yeah, he's from Atlanta.
Okay, Lil Nas X is honored in his hometown, and it's on a controversial day, in my opinion, but we're going to talk about that later. I'm your host, Kenim O, and you're watching Minted, and today my guest is Ronse of No Hipsters Pod, and he has some... Okay, what's the gist? What's the tea? Tell us, what is up?
So you start with a big topic, which is all over the place right now, which is Alec Baldwin and his fatal accident that happened on the set of his movie Rust. So on Thursday in New Mexico, they were shooting, and it's a Western. So he's the star and also the producer, and he had to fire a gun, a prop gun. Unfortunately, the gun had a live round, and he ended up killing the director of photography, a 42-year-old woman named Helena Hutchins, and injured the director of the movie, Joel Souza. And so the woman was airlifted to University of New Mexico Hospital, but was pronounced dead. And then the director was in critical condition for a while, but has been discharged. So this is just the biggest story out there right now, and it's crazy. First of all,
so unfortunate.
Maybe you might be a bit more familiar with movie sets. I didn't know they use actual guns.
Typically they don't, so this was interesting that they were using, but I could understand the reason why. I just don't understand why you even have any ammunition if you're going to use a real gun.
Apparently they use blanks usually, and also blanks.
What exactly are blanks?
So I was actually looking that up. So there is a projectile. It's just not as, I guess, fast and as hard.
So it's really a bullet.
There's something in there, but it's not going to actually kill you.
But it did.
But no. Apparently, this was an actual bullet in this gun.
Oh my
God. That's what's being reported. Of course, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
So there are a few things I remember back in the day when a PA or something got killed by the train tracks and on a set. Oh, wow. And it was all over the news at the time, and it was horrific. They really came after those producers. So it would be worth it to research a little bit about what happened to those producers. Right. Because if he was a producer on this is just completely irresponsible. As an actor, I just think people should relax. I don't like the way they reported the story at first. They should relax on him as an actor, because it's not your fault as an actor, but the production company behind it, being irresponsible enough not to have live rounds in a gun on a set, that is absolutely absurd. Well, apparently, the props department.
Exactly. So I think it falls on the prop department. So
yes, but it's also, you still will blame the production company. But I don't know that Alec Baldwin is, I don't know if it's his production company that produces it, because him being a producer is a very loose term.
But he's being reported as a producer. My assumption is that his production company is behind.
But probably most of the times it's not. So it's really the production company, and yes, the props department. Why wasn't that regulated? Why did they not check? It's just absolutely irresponsible when you're dealing with guns.
Wow. So an assistant director had given him the gun just moments prior to the shoot, and so this is no pun intended, but prior to the scene, and said this is safe to use, and so he assumed, and rightly so, why would you doubt that?
Wait, why is the assistant director giving him the gun in the first place?
I guess that's whoever was in charge of that prop. I don't know how.
No. So an assistant director is pretty much he's the loudest person on set that's telling everyone where they need to be at a certain time. Yes, it's kind of involved in all those little things this person, they're always the loudest person on set, but that's the props department, right? Which is under art direction, So the real question then is, why is the assistant director giving him the gun? I don't, maybe he told him, no, which is fine. I'm just thinking about it, but and he told him, it's okay to use this gun. He said that. Those are the words he said.
That's what's being reported. So apparently there was, there's a warrant for the movie set, right? And so they've taken the prop, but they've also taken Alec Baldwin's costume and all that. And so how it's been reported was that an assistant director gave him the prop gun moments before they were about to film that scene, and said he's being quoted as saying it was safe to use. That happened,
Well, it's so difficult, but it's almost going to be a witch hunt, which is so
unfortunately
unnecessary. Right? But it's not even the assistant directors, unless the assistant director actually had the intent to kill and put the live round in the gun,
I mean,
which I'm not
who
saying. You
really
never
knows?
know. But
I mean, so you know
probably
about
not.
how Brandon Lee died in 1993. Similar situation, prop gun had a live round. He was killed. So
is that an actor?
Yeah, Bruce Lee's son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he died in 93 on the set of a movie called The Crow. And so even Brandon Lee's, estate has made a statement via his account, his, posthumous Twitter account, saying that, no one should ever die in this way.
It's the worst way to die. Like it's like I'm a filmmaker and I respect films, but it's just not even a serious setting for you to now go and die.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
what?
And I get trying to get the most realistic looking, scenes, and having one to have a gunshot sound like a real gunshot, look like a real gunshot. And I'm sure it's probably less like special effects work if you can get something that could produce the spark. But apparently there are other options other than using like blanks. And so they don't have to do it this way. So clearly I think Hollywood is going to have to start,
engineering or
examining how they do gun scenes, and maybe not do it this way anymore.
Or like whatever company creates these like artificial guns that actually.
No, that's the thing.
I mean, there are companies that do that.
Apparently, So they're gonna have to start using the fake guns, but apparently these are real guns that have blanks. So the produces.
But there was a live round in there, or
there was a live round. Yeah, so produces a spark that makes it look real.
Right.
But
so they're going to go all the way to the probably the rental company that is producing these. This investigation is going to go deep.
It's going
to run deep.
It literally
I said, like,
just
how?
happened.
And the question is, how did a live round end up in this gun?
That is a question that needs to be answered. And I really even don't think that Alec Baldwin should be
blamed,
held responsible.
I hate the way they reported the story. It was the first where I think I saw it on the Shade Room or the Spiritual Word, and they said Alec Baldwin shoots and kills the assistant director, and it was so offensive. No, but it's like, you have to be careful how you report these stories, because all the blame went to him, but it's not his fault, and people need to understand, like, you're acting. If you want your actors to be comfortable.
I get that. I get what you're saying. He fired the gun at the end of the day.
He was performing. It was a performance. But it's such a ridiculous report. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean, that's.
I think
I reported it similarly. Honestly.
Yeah, it's just it's not fair to him, because when you read that as a consumer or as a buyer, you're like, oh my god, this crazy person. The first thing I thought was he's a lunatic. I read the way I read it, he shoots whatever. I said, this guy's crazy.
No, well, I said
nut job.
No, no, what I said was, accidentally using. I made it clear in the headline.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what when you report accident. No, it was. I think
I led with the fact that it was accidentally killed. And I made it clear that it was a prop gun on the movie set.
Exactly.
So at a glance, you know what happened.
Right, but the
of course,
way
if you were like using like clickbait to like say something that's more provocative.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Like, come on, like, because like first of all the blame's gonna go to him. It's not his fault. He's performing. Yeah. It's difficult enough to get actors to feel comfortable on your set, or that's why you hire the best actors. You see, so you want to put an environment where your actors are going to feel safe to perform to their fullest potential, because they are really reenacting these, whatever it is. It's a Western. They're actually killing people, right? Right. They're reenacting these things. So like for you to now leave live rounds in your, he should sue the production company.
You think he has a case?
Yes. He should sue them. It's actually ridiculous that they put this on his name. Gave him he's almost canceled right now. He's almost canceled.
So I actually, to be honest, I've seen quite a bit of grace being extended to him.
And now after the fact, but I don't think in the first few hours there was grace. There were a lot of people that sent me the thing that said, I didn't like him anyway.
Yeah, he's not someone that people like, because he has a reputation of like attacking people, yelling at people, being like nasty to paparazzi. So he's not someone that people really like.
I don't even care about the person. I don't even care for Alec Baldwin. But for me, I'm just thinking about an actor like being put in this situation. You're there. That's your job. That's you're doing your best that you could do in your position, and you're put in this situation. I think it's really messed up.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Helena Hutchins. It's really sad.
Absolutely
really
awful.
Sad. And so her husband has spoken to press, and they seem to be taking this side. In some cases you hear like families come out immediately sounding like they're about to take legal action. I'm not seeing anything like that yet, but like I said, this happened like 48 hours ago, so let's wait. and see what direction it takes in the next week.
Aside from how traumatic it is for these families to have lost, and even someone to lose their life, like it's a senseless killing, to be honest.
It really is.
But aside from that, I just think about the tens or maybe even the tens of millions of dollars that's going to be lost, because nobody can.
Oh yeah,
they're not going to be able to. It's done. No one's watching this movie.
No,
You're not
only is this production probably not going to be completed, but I don't think anyone will ever like pick up this script. Like,
yeah, it's done.
Like,
it's over. You know, so think about all the people that
Yeah.
have put so much hard work into this. Right, put so much hard work from the people that invested in it. They're going to lose their money. From the person that wrote this script, all the actors that took their time out to perform here, and then now this has just gone to nothing, just like because of one person was irresponsible. Yeah,
well, we don't even know if it was just one person who we can hold responsible.
I just feel some idiot, maybe maybe even the rental company, maybe even. They let someone saw it, they took it out. I don't know.
I think this is kind of an industry-wide problem where, like, I think Hollywood needs to ask itself why it was using real guns in the first place.
Fair enough.
I think that's
which is
a
fair.
Real question.
Which is fair.
There had never been a situation where a real gun was being used, unless you were just going to like hold the gun and not actually like pull the trigger. The risk
is too high.
It's too high.
But it's not necessarily high if people are checking to make sure. Because like, when was the last time it happened? Over 20 years ago.
28 years ago. I don't know if that was the last time it's happened.
So it's just about being responsible if you're using
injuries, but no deaths.
Right.
At least no high profile deaths. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
And so, and also, like I said, people have been injured with blanks. So, anyways, that's that. We'll see where it goes in the next week. Let's change gears and talk about Tiwa Savage. So we spoke about her last week, and her sex tape really does exist. I wasn't sure.
I was sure.
It really does exist, and yeah. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. Have you seen it?
Against my will, yes.
Against your will.
Yeah, in the sense that it was just sent to me, and the person who texted it didn't quite say what it was, and right. So I was like, what? Because the thumbnail doesn't really show what's in the video. So interesting. My position on sex tapes, I don't share sex tapes, like leaked sex tapes. I don't think it's the ethical thing to do.
Right, I wouldn't even share that.
And some people
I wouldn't even download it. You have to go on YouTube. I don't want it on my computer. Or
right. And some people don't think that you should even like watch leaked, sex tapes. Like, it's just that people think it's.
I mean, it's like a car crash. You shouldn't watch it. People, a car crash, but you're gonna watch it.
Right. I mean, I guess that's one way of putting it. But like, I want to be clear that I didn't go searching for it.
I went searching for it.
I want to clear my name. I didn't go searching for it.
I went searching for it. I wanted to know how bad it was, what it was going to do to her.
Okay.
But what I've noticed is, there's too many sides to this story, but on one side, there's a lot of female empowerment being attached to this. A lot of like female celebrities, female influential people, and even males too, that are backing her, supporting her, across social media, which I think is a good thing, because typically, especially in Nigeria, people always want to shame women. People always want to degrade women, and they'll find any excuse to do that. So like a sex tape, you're done, right? She's lost so many brand sponsorships. It's been terrible for her, but the industry kind of has her back, and they're supporting her because we recognize this was not her fault, that it was released. And so, I mean, look, that's one side to it. And I'm happy to see so many people come behind her and support her and say, this does not define you,
Right, yeah, people have been very generous, and I think that's good. It's interesting. It's very, and like I said, I don't think a sex tape is the big deal that it used to be, and I wasn't really expecting Nigerians to be this, gracious towards her.
Oh.
Now, granted, you said that there's been a range of reactions.
So this reaction that I just referred to is mainly people in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, right. It seems
and probably the most successful ones. Like,
right.
So when you look at the other side of it, and the actual people that are doing maybe traditional Yoruba films or traditional Nollywood, or people that are, just generally the general public, she's been disgraced, she's been shamed. And look, at the end of the day, there's no way around this. There are rooms that she just can never be allowed into anymore. Well, until maybe like give her some time. But if a president is holding some sort of meeting and they want celebrities to represent, she's no longer going to be on that list.
Okay.
If, brands, all these, there was a Pampers company like for kids kids brands, all these like squeaky clean brands, they're just not going to want to work with her. But I don't think that means that her career is over. I think she needs to, and I see that she's already doing it. She needs to step into this and own this, and she could be like a pioneer that, you know, that sort of pushes that sexual liberation movement. You know, I don't. You saw her coming out with a blazer and her breasts were out, which was like, okay, like she's owning it. Like, you've seen me naked,
yeah, no,
see more.
Well, yeah, I don't even think that was really like
what she was doing.
Yeah, I don't think that was risque. However, she did. I thought that the caption was interesting. It was something to the effect of, you know, charge that shit to the game and speak of it never again.
What does that mean?
I think she was like quoting some song. I just
yeah, but what do you think it meant?
It just means that shit happens. I'm moving on.
Right.
You know.
And did you see her TikTok in the same outfit when she was dancing?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Oh,
like
really?
the
Okay.
photo wasn't as risque. The TikTok was more risque.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, some of the gestures she was making,
Yeah.
it was just a little risque.
I think honestly, the whole thing is not that big of a deal. She will be fine when all
100%.
said and done. And
one thing I will say, sorry to cut you off, but one thing I will say is I think it was very interesting when she came for Shay Shay, the way she, like, you know, and I'm not like taking sides. I'm not even on. I'm not even like Shay Shay's side, nothing like that. But I think it was very interesting the way she came for Shay Shay.
Don't come to me and think you can say hi with the dirty and disgusting spirit that you have. The dirty, disgusting spirit that you have. Your Yash is the dirtiest in this industry, you fucking horse. Because if God should take my child, God should take him. If I've ever done or said anything about you. Bitch, I'm made. I have money. I have nothing to take from you. You think I've forgotten? You think I can forget?
So, well, like, look at the irony here, right? But at the same time,
so they both said similar things to each other.
Who Shay Shay really didn't come for her. The way she came for Shay Shay, and she also told Shay Shay, "I'm rich. I'm this. I'm that."
She is.
Well, let's see if that lasts now. Because, like, think about it. Like, I think I think people need to be very humble. Like, I feel like people think being wealthy means that they're superior to other people, and it doesn't. So, like, you using like, oh, you have all this money. Well, like, yeah, well, you've lost all this money right now.
I think you might be jumping the gun. I don't think she's lost anything. I mean, she's lost endorsements, but like
endorsements. These are huge deals, especially, you know.
I feel like she's like that. She will get others, right? I think the people who are now hearing about her, right? Because we have to remember she's not a major American star yet, right? And so she's relatively new to the American market. I think this, you know, I'm not saying that this is how people should be using it. You know, should be promoting themselves with sex tapes, but I think more people will learn about her. The Angie Martinez interview went viral. I think, you know, people are going to rally behind her.
Look, Somebody's Son is a hit,
right?
Somebody's Son is a hit, but does she have Thames potential in penetrating America? Does she have Ira? I mean, I won't say Ira Star because I haven't seen Ira Star do.
Just based on just the age difference, they don't have the same potential. Thames
musically,
has much time.
In terms of like musically, voice, in terms of sound.
You're asking the wrong person. I'm a Thames stan, so I really just think that.
I just don't.
I don't think anyone, male or female, is doing like Thames right now, right?
I'm not even thinking about Thames. I knew the first time I ever heard Thames, I knew that this girl was a star, just her voice.
Oh, really?
I knew, but I know Tiwa Savage is older, which actually doesn't really mean anything in this time that we're in. Okay. But I just don't think that musically that she can reach in a US wise, like she doesn't have that Davido Je ne sais quoi or that Burna Boy, you know, or that Wizkid or even Tenny. I don't think she has what it takes to really penetrate. Like, Somebody's Son is a good song, but like, it's a good song, but I don't know that she can consistently give us, I don't think she can give us great songs. I haven't heard a great song from Tiwa Savage. That's my thing. I haven't had a song from her that I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I listened to it on repeat. I've never had any Tiwa Savage song that was like that.
Don Jazzy many years ago.
Dorobuchi.
Well, that, but
that was a Don Jazzy. That was really Don Jazzy. I think she was just like a small feature, but that was not even a song that I'm like, oh my god, I have to put that on repeat.
Had a few.
Like what?
If
you have to think, then yeah.
Eminado. There you go.
Eminado. That's also what's his name? What's his name? Don Jazzy.
Yeah.
But it's
still her song, right?
Okay. Okay, all over. I'll give her that. She has all over.
Okay, yeah. Don't put some respect on her name.
To be honest, I don't know. Like, we just have to wait and see
Yeah,
what.
I mean,
what
no, the
happens,
point I was
'cause
trying to,
really,
I think she's
don't
good. The point I was making is that just a comparison to Thames. Thames is much newer and is just
not
blowing
about
onto
the
the
freshness.
scene in the way.
It's not about the freshness. It's about the talent and the
the music
the
industry
music.
is in many ways a young person's game. I mean,
okay.
if you have to
Yeah.
be fair, like just generally speaking. Now, of course, because the U.S. market is new to Tiwa Savage, they might not be thinking of her as the seasoned artist that we.
She also
think of her.
doesn't look 40. She could pass for 30.
Yeah, she could.
Yeah.
So, but I just think Thames is just. I think she's so good.
A breath of fresh air.
And just, I think we're about to, see amazing things from her. So
I think Ira Star is on the come up. I think she's going places. I'd love to hear more from Tenny. We haven't really heard. I feel like this album hasn't really hit the way the last one has, but I know Tenny has she's like good, crazy talent and hits and all of that. But I just think that, look, now there's an opportunity for a new person to step into that position. I think Ira Star might be the one, but like who really knows? Mm-hmm. But to step in to that position that Tiwa Savage was trying to become, that's sort of like Beyonce, Rihanna of Africa, whatever they were trying to brand her as. I think someone like an Ira Star would actually has the potential to go farther.
So are you insinuating that she's losing her spot already?
Tiwa Savage?
Yeah.
I don't think she had the spot.
Oh.
I think like there's a difference between being a celebrity and being a musician, like being famous as for your music.
And you don't think she was famous for her music?
Again, I don't know. I have an ear for hits, but not to even be like exclusive. Just like I don't hear too many hits coming from her.
You don't see it for her, just generally.
No, but like in other ways, like holistically, is she like a celebrity? Yes.
Okay.
Celebridom now, especially in today's era, your music doesn't matter as much.
Okay.
That's fair. I mean, that's my opinion, but clearly you disagree.
No. Listen, I see why you could say that. I do think that she's a good enough artist. So
good enough.
Good.
Almost doesn't count.
I love how we always like take these random segues, and now we're talking about just all these other artists. But back to the main topic, the sex tape. I think she'll survive. I don't think it's real. We've seen many before.
Look, I think there'll be money in her account. Let's put it that way. And she'll have she has the celebridom that's backing her. And she has that power.
Now that we know that there was a tape, I now think it was very wise for her to
come out and say,
because
for sure.
Now
I think it's giving her some respect too. Like, and I like that she's come out. She's been posting on TikTok. Like, she didn't stop posting on TikTok. Good. She's been posting on TikTok to be like, look, you're not gonna shame me. I'm not gonna be quiet and go into a shell. No, I'm gonna own this. Good. Even though like it seems like forced content, it doesn't like the content isn't like doing anything for anyone, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. The message is being sent. Like, I'm not like going into
and it's a very powerful thing for women to know that, especially in Nigeria, that you don't have to let society silence you because maybe you made one mistake, or even if you didn't make a mistake and people want to silence you, you don't have to allow it. So as in terms of like female empowerment, I think she's a great example to women across Nigeria. So that's my thoughts.
No arguments for me.
Yeah.
Switching gears, so let's talk about Lil Nas X getting his own day in Atlanta, and someone was very passionate about that.
Me.
His hometown gave him his own day, which is not uncommon for celebrities. It's the way many hometowns honor local heroes.
Totally fine. Honoring your heroes.
They gave him Lil Nas X Day, and it was October 20th. So I know you have feelings about that. So
I think it's ridiculous. So we all know that October 20th is the Lekki massacre, right? That's the way the day goes down on social media. And I think about Black unity around the world. I think about if you know that there's so much pain going, that has been caused to Black people, especially like Nigeria, right? And you come and you take somebody with a massive following on social media and you distract people from that. We want as many likes, as many followers, as much awareness as possible. But you almost like split up the day, make half the people are supporting Lil, or the people here in America that are Black or in Atlanta are supporting Lil Nas X Day, and then there are a lot of Nigerians in Atlanta too, But then you have Nigerians, only Nigerians are now looking at the NSARS situation and the Lekki massacre. And I think it needs to be a global thing. We need to make sure that everybody understands what we're going through.
Well, as you know, I disagree only because I think you might be overestimating the importance of a Lil Nas X Day. Most people will not know, in fact, I'm sure most of you watching this wouldn't have heard about this if they didn't watch this. So I don't think people really know or care. I don't think it's enough of a thing to split people's attention, number one. Number two, I don't even think when they were giving him that day that they were thinking about, I mean, you could argue that could be their own ignorance, but I don't think they were doing that to be disrespectful to
I didn't think they were doing it to be, I think it was ignorance, I wouldn't even call it ignorance, but lack of exposure, and that and also emphasizes my point
to
even
that
more.
Point, as tragic as that day was for Nigeria, I don't think it is the world event that everyone that would just have everyone's attention that way, or that everyone would know that day and know exactly what happened that day, the same way say September 11 is, where everyone in the world.
Okay, that's interesting because guess why people cared about September 11th? Because white people died, and white people made sure that everybody cared that white people died. I want to play a clip. I just want to play a clip from in CNN.
Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do to root out Boko Haram. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority.
No, you're making fair points, but I think we need to. I think you're missing a key factor,
which is
September 11. Over 3,000 people died.
Right. Okay.
So, and not that I want that kind of tragedy to
Well, that's because they had the metrics to measure how many people died in America. We don't have the metrics. We are just thinking. You're thinking Lekki massacre was only Lagos. It wasn't. It was all over Nigeria. So
I get what
the
you
idea
mean,
that 3,000 people, we could have had way more people die, but we just wouldn't even know. 100%. I don't even dispute that.
Oh, really?
3,000
people.
I don't think. Okay, you were not in Nigeria. You were not in Nigeria that day, so I don't think you understand. Or the fact that everybody was on a curfew and they had to go home, and all we heard out of our windows was gunshots.
Yes.
For 4 days or 3 days. That was, and this is like Ikoyi, or where it's like they're not really killing people, and I was hearing gunshots. What are they doing in Oshodi, or what are they doing in middle of Delta, or different random places that we were sent footage of them, the police just raiding and shooting people, and there were crowds of people running. Maybe I'll play some clips. It might be quite graphic. I won't go too deep into it. But the things that we saw on that day, 3,000 people is not a far reach.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, but we can never know. It's just it's speculation.
And also another thing about that whole movement was that all the tragedies didn't really happen on one day. Of course, the one where we reference is the Lekki massacre, but for 2 weeks prior, there was violence all over the. There is always violence.
There's always violence. That's why they said there's no.
During the protests,
my main point, is about the devaluing of Black lives and sort of the constructs of white supremacy and how sort of it has created this sort of divide and conquer. Right, we're divided in terms of Black people in America, Black people in Nigeria. We're all divided on issues like this, right? Mm-hmm. If we had some sort of unity, even with the Black people in America, they would know that calling this day something else is as offensive as calling Christopher Columbus Day, instead of calling it Indigenous Peoples Day, because you're neglecting, even if it's the smallest bit, you're neglecting the issues that Black people have faced in Nigeria. And there are Black people that face those issues here too, because when you look at white supremacy, I'll just break this down very quickly, but white supremacy was designed by elite Africans, West Africans, the elite, and white people. So they came together, they designed white supremacy. So who is suppressing Black people today still? Elite West Africans and white people. So this is why, that's why I think it's an issue.
First of all, I love the passion, but
passion.
I'll revert to my first argument, which is that I just don't think Lil Nas X day is anything that is consequential enough to fracture any existing solidarity among Black people across the world, or even impede attempts at solidarity. So it's just, to me, it's just not like, I don't think.
But I feel like that's how it is. It's like little drops of water like make a river, right? So like just ignoring the little things. When you ignore the little things, these are the ways it's manifesting itself. You're ignoring it because, it's not a big deal. Those are 11 million people that go on Lil Nas's ex's Instagram every day. Yeah. And they're just divided on,
and I want to also
who to care about
point out
on that
another
day.
thing. The fact that he might have 20 million followers doesn't mean that all 20 million of them are active,
If
engaged.
he gets 2 million people to pay attention to Lil Nas X Day, any person that's not paying attention to, like any Black person that is not paying attention to the fact that Black lives were killed, to me that's an issue. Whether the Black life was killed in America, in Hong Kong, wherever the Black life was killed, if we don't care about the value of Black lives and we pay attention to other things, well, we just perpetuate the devaluing of Black lives, and that's just my point. But
listen,
to each his own.
Right. I mean, like I said, I just don't think I don't think people care that much. Like, first of all, every other celebrity has their own day. Beyonce has. Beyonce
just put it on October 21st. Put it on October 23rd.
But what I'm saying is that,
don't put it on October 20th.
I think what you're doing is that you're now going, because do you know every tragedy that happens in every
Because we don't tell our stories. Because our stories are drowned out by stupid Lil Nas X days. That is why. Did you learn Black history in school? This is a real question. Did you learn Black history in school?
I learned Nigerian history.
You learned Nigerian history.
To an extent. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So that's the real problem is what I'm talking about. We do not tell our stories. Either we haven't been conditioned to tell our own stories. Our own Black elites try not to tell, or let's say Black West African elites try not to let us know our history. And white people try to let us not know our history. So whatever the case is, just anything that distracts us from Black stories, Black histories, especially those that have to do with trauma, that is something that we should shine a light out on and be looking at fixing those problems. But that's my opinion.
Hey, listen, like I said, I don't think that is enough of a distraction. But also, I wanted to point out, Beyonce has like at least 3 different days, right? So
is it on the day that somebody was killed, that Black people were killed?
She has her birthday in Houston, but also like the state of Minnesota has like 2 different Beyonce days. One in her hometown, but also the state of Minnesota has like a Beyonce day in May, and then a Beyonce and Jay-Z day in August. Like, I think so, maybe, and I think if we are going to press this to this extent, then we're gonna have to like task ourselves with learning of every single tragedy that's happened in every Black majority country. And I think what I'm saying is that, because ultimately I think you might not be able to live up to this expectation you're putting on the city of Atlanta.
I might not be able to live up to
like, do you know every?
Look, the point is, the issue is, look, I didn't learn Black history in school. I didn't learn Black history in school. It was after I graduated from university that I went to start making documentaries that I started learning about Black history. Not a day in my... Okay, you know what? We had 2 months. Sorry, 1 month. No, about a month, Black History Month, when I was in school in America. Okay. Where we learned, which is really white history. We learned about slavery.
Okay, I think you're asking me of like learning about history when
I'm saying the problem is not that. I do my research.
So I took 2 different Black history classes in college.
Oh, so you didn't learn it in Nigeria?
We learned Nigerian history in school, growing up in school in Nigeria. But
until 1994, I think it was changed from it was made an elective from, I believe, I can't remember the year, but I'll put it in, yeah.
But anyway, my college has a race studies requirement. So like everyone has to take like some kind of race class. So most people end up doing like a Black history type of class. Yeah. And so I did actually end up doing 2 of those. Right. So yes.
Yeah, not at Tufts. We didn't have a requirement. People took it. People took Africana studies, but I didn't. Yeah. Okay. But I didn't take that because I didn't even think that, the way that you're conditioned as a human being, you're meant to ignore Black stories. Mm-hmm. So that's just my point. Like, when we continue, and I'm not saying that we have to know all stories. It's not about that. Mm-hmm. It's about when we know a story, especially one that has hurt so many Black people, millions of Black people. Nigeria has 100 and something million people, almost 200 million people. you know that everybody on social media on that day that's Nigerian and is under a certain age is posting about NSARS.
Right.
That is enough of a reason for you,
fair,
especially the city of Atlanta that's making so much money from Nigerians. The city of Atlanta, to be that ignorant, I'm sorry, I can't support it.
That's fair. That's fair. Listen, I'll let you have it. But like I said, and also you have to remember that there was weeks of protest in real life, also on social media. So for weeks, the NSARS hashtag.
Yeah, but the point is that day signifies.
I know that day was where was kind of where
signifies
the climax of everything that happened, and I get what you're saying. I think you might be asking for too much from the city of Atlanta.
That's what they say. Black people, we're asking for too much to be treated as equals. We're asking for too much. That's
drama.
What they say.
Okay. But anyways, that's it for today. I have nothing else. And
all right, so thank you guys for watching. Please like, follow, subscribe, all of the above. My name is Kenim, and this is Ronse, and see you next time. A peace.